We're going to find these 10 derivatives involving sine and cosine. In order to solve these problems, we'll need to know the chain rule, the product rule, and the quotient rule, as well as our basic derivatives. I'll leave some links in the description to practice those rules individually if you need to review any of that. This video also has chapters, so you can skip around the problems as you please. Let's begin with problem 1, the derivative of sine of 2x, and I've put some formulas up here just for your reference. The derivative of sine of 2x is the derivative of a composite function, so we'll have to apply the chain rule. In this case, the outside function is sine, and the inside function is 2x. Applying the chain rule, we begin by taking the derivative of the outside function. The derivative of sine is cosine, and we have to be sure to leave the inside function, 2x, unchanged. Then we have to multiply by what we call g prime, the derivative of that inside function, so multiply by 2. So the derivative is 2 times cosine of 2x. Here in problem 2, we again have the chain rule. We have the sine function inside the cosine function. So beginning to take the derivative of this, we're just going to leave that pi out there as a factor. And then we need to take the derivative of the outside function. The outside function is cosine, and its derivative is negative sine. Then, don't change the inside function, so we leave sine x inside. But then we need to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. The inside function is sine, and its derivative is cosine, so we multiply by cosine of x. So that's our derivative. If you want, you could take the negative outside of the parentheses, and so our final answer could be negative pi times sine of sine x times cosine x. Here in problem 3, we're taking the derivative of sine of 7x times cosine of 3x. So there's a little bit of product rule going on here. We have a product of two functions, and there's chain rule, because these are both composite functions. The product rule is f prime g plus g prime f. So let's do that. We need to take the derivative of the first function multiplied by the second function. The derivative of the first function, sine of 7x, is 7 times cosine of 7x. That's because this function is itself a composite function, so we begin with the derivative of the outside, that's cosine, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside. The derivative of 7x is 7, and of course we don't change the inside function. So that's the derivative of the first function, and then we also need to multiply it by the second function. This is our f prime g. Then we need to add g prime f. It's like what we just did, but instead of taking the derivative of the first function, we take the derivative of the second function. The derivative of cosine of 3x is negative 3 sine of 3x. The derivative of cosine is negative sine, and the derivative of 3x is 3. So that's where that comes from. So that's g prime, and we need to multiply it by f, the first function, which is sine of 7x. So that's our derivative. If you prefer, you could change this plus to a minus by just taking that negative out of the parentheses, and that would leave us with this as our final answer. Here in problem 4, we have some more chain rule, cosine of x plus sine x. To take the derivative of this, we begin with the derivative of the outside function. The derivative of cosine is negative sine, so there's that, and we want to leave that inside function, x plus sine x, unchanged. But then we must multiply by the derivative of that inside function. The derivative of x plus sine x is 1 plus cosine x, and so that is the derivative. Now, to take the derivative of the square root of sine x, we might want to rewrite this. This is the derivative of sine x, and the square root is the same as a power of 1/2. So now it's a little bit more clear how we would proceed with the derivative using the chain rule. The outside function is the square root, or that power of 1/2. So we begin by taking the derivative of something to a power of 1/2. That requires us, by the power rule, to bring the power down in front as a factor, and then reduce the power of sine x by 1, so negative 1/2. 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. So that's the derivative of the outside function, leaving that inside unchanged, and then we just need to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. So multiply by cosine x, and that is the derivative of the square root of sine x. Now, for the derivative of cosine squared of 3x, we again need the chain rule, but we're going to have to apply it a couple times because the outermost function is the squaring. Inside of that, we have cosine. But inside of that, we have 3x. So we have some nested functions here. First, let's focus on the outside function. Take the derivative of a thing squared. That requires us to bring the power of 2 down as a factor, and then reduce the power of cosine by 1. It did have a power of 2, so now it's going to have a power of 1. Now we need to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. The inside function we're thinking about is cosine. That's the thing that was getting squared. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. So we have negative sine of 3x. But then we have to remember that this is also a composite function. We're going to have to multiply by the derivative of that innermost function, 3x. The derivative of 3x, of course, is 3. We might want to just wrap this up by multiplying the negative by the 3 and the 2, so we would have negative 6 times the trig functions. So that's the derivative of cosine squared of 3x. Now in problem 7, we're taking the derivative of sine of x squared divided by cosine x. So for this, we're going to need the quotient rule and the chain rule. The quotient rule is f prime g minus g prime f all over g squared. So we'll begin with the derivative of f, that's the derivative of the numerator, and multiply that by g, the function in the denominator. Now f prime, the derivative of the numerator, is going to be cosine of x squared. Cosine is the derivative of the outside function. The derivative of sine is cosine. And then we need to multiply by the derivative of that inside function. The derivative of x squared is 2x. So that's f prime, the derivative of the numerator. We then also need to multiply by g, the function in the denominator. Then subtract, we need to take the derivative of the denominator, which is negative sine x, and multiply that by f, the function in the numerator, so sine of x squared. Then all of this needs to get divided by the denominator squared. The denominator is cosine x, and so we must divide by cosine squared x. So that's our derivative. You could shuffle some of these terms around if you want. I'm just going to take these two negatives and let them cancel out, so this is a plus. Next, problem 8 is similar, except we're going to have to apply the quotient rule at an inside layer of the chain rule. We have cosine x divided by x, but that's inside of sine. So we'll start by taking the derivative of that outside function. The derivative of sine is cosine, and then we're going to leave the inside function unchanged. But then we need to multiply by the derivative of this inside function. The derivative of cosine x over x requires us to use the quotient rule. The quotient rule is f prime g minus g prime f all over g squared. So f prime g is going to be negative sine x times x, and then subtract g prime f. G prime is 1, and f is cosine x. And then all of this needs to get divided by g squared. So x squared. There are various ways we could rewrite this derivative expression, but I'm going to leave it like that. Let's move on to problem 9. For problem 9, again, we're going to need the quotient rule, and we're also going to need the chain rule. So let's draw a big fraction line. We'll start with f prime. That's the derivative of the numerator. To take the derivative of the numerator, we begin with the derivative of the outside function, so cosine of ex. The derivative of sine is cosine. And then multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Now that's f prime, what we have there, the derivative of the numerator. We then have to multiply it by g, the function that's in the denominator. Then we'll have to subtract g prime f. Now g is sine x plus cosine x, so the derivative g prime is going to be cosine x minus sine x. That's g prime, and we need to multiply that by f, the function in the numerator. The function in the numerator is sine of ex, so we'll multiply this by sine of ex. So that's our hideous numerator. All we have left in the denominator is g squared, so sine x plus cosine x, quantity squared. Our last problem, number 10, is like the previous one, except instead of using the quotient rule inside the chain rule, we have to use the product rule. But we'll begin with the derivative of our outermost function. The derivative of sine is cosine, and then we'll leave the inside function unchanged, x squared cosine x. Then we have to multiply by the derivative of that inside function, and for that we'll use the product rule, f prime g plus g prime f. The derivative of the first function, f prime, is 2x, and then multiply that by the second function, which is cosine x. Then we must add the derivative of the second function. The derivative of cosine is negative sine, so we have negative sine, and then multiply by the first function, which is x squared. So that's the derivative of sine of x squared cosine x. And that's how to find derivatives of composite functions, quotients, and products involving sine and cosine. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and be sure to check out my Calculus 1 course and Calculus 1 exercises playlists in the description for more.